Welcome back, insiders. Today, I want to talk about this guy, Lance Breitstein, who just came out with a new video on SMB Capital channel, YouTube channel. And Lance Breitstein is a top trader, and he's also now an advisor at SMB Capital. So let's go over to this video and check it out. Now I want to do something I've never done on this channel before, and this is a perfect video I think for that because it's very, very short. I want to go ahead, watch it together, and give you guys my feedback, my thoughts on it as a pro trader myself. Plus at the end, I want to share 3 things I'm doing right now myself to help maximize my profit. So let's just dive right into it.
I have hired and fired dozens of traders while running the Chicago office of a top prop firm, and I've made many traders into 7 and even 8-figure traders. Let me share with you the #1 trait I sought out when hiring new traders. Far more important than intelligence or school pedigree, coachability is the #1 trait I look for when hiring. I define coachability as how open a trader is to feedback, mine or the market's, and most critically, how quickly and effectively that trader can then incorporate that feedback.
Now, I really like this point because as a trader myself, I think this is super, super true. If you get stuck in your own beliefs, whatever that is, at first, as a new trader, you're probably going to have a lot of losing trades. You're going to hold a lot of bags. Now, if you don't get over to the point where you can be like, hey, I'm wrong about this, let me take in some new information or let me adjust my trade, you're going to keep holding bags and you're never really going to improve. So his definition, I wrote it down here, how open is a trader to feedback, mine or the markets, and most critically, how quickly and effectively that trader can incorporate that feedback. And he'll talk about this in a second, but what he also refers to as, you see market data come in, how quickly can you adjust your trading style? Right now, we're getting a lot of macro dumps on us, which are very, very important, much more important than they used to be because people didn't really care about things like inflation. But now it feels like they're half a macro trader. So how can you adjust to all this new information coming in? Let's keep going.
This is part of why college athletes are so popular on trading desks. They know how to compete at a high level, and they spent their whole lives receiving sometimes tough feedback from coaches and incorporating it quickly in high-pressure environments.
This is actually a really cool point, and it gets me thinking. We have our TradeJournal Insider podcast, Insider Trading podcast, and 2 of the co-hosts, I guess you can say, are athletes themselves. One was very close to becoming a professional swinger. I was thinking swing trading, professional swimmer, and the other, Toby, was actually a professional downhill skier and won a medal in the Olympics. So it's kind of interesting that a lot of athletes become professional traders and that these guys at SMB Capital even look for athletes. That's really crazy.
There are some smart traders I've trained, but whether due to ego or a lack of mindfulness, they're unable to receive feedback and make those changes. Day in and day out, they come and make the same damn mistakes. Or if they do change, it takes them months for the tiniest bit of progress. They can never reach escape velocity and overcome the learning curve fast enough.
This is interesting, and maybe that's why I hinted on it earlier, is that fact of holding many bags. I guess this is another way to talk about it, but I was saying earlier, you hold many bags, and if you can ever just accept that some of them are losing, take in new information, close those losers, you'll keep holding bags. And what he basically compares that to is you need to take in this new information and then get past that escape velocity. So at what point do you have enough knowledge to where the rocket can take off and your P&L will start going up?
So how does one develop coachability? First, by staying open to feedback. Not thinking you're right, but listening to your trainer, your podmates, and the market. And next, you develop what I call consciousness. You need to spend the whole day focusing on the most important thing you need to improve.
This is something I'm really working on right now, and later in this video, I'll share what I'm doing to help my focus.
Building that self-awareness in real time. If sizing is your focus every trade, you need to start to become aware of your sizing, then asking yourself intra-trade, is this the proper amount of shares? This is way harder than it sounds during a long trading day. But with real-time consciousness eventually comes change. Like any skill, the more you practice consciousness in your daily activities, the easier it becomes to be aware of and make these changes. And the faster you make those changes, the faster you'll improve.
Boom. Yeah, awareness is super, super important. I'm excited to share what I've been working on myself for that, because I noticed throughout the trading day, I get decision fatigue. And after about like the 3 hour mark, I feel like my trading exponentially gets worse. So I've incorporated a few things to improve that. The comments, though, are pretty excellent, and it kind of really reminds me of why I like trading so much myself. This guy here, Steezy, says, "This is exactly why I love trading so much. It forces you to be mindful, humble, and focused, or focused and objective human being that doesn't take anything for granted. Nothing is guaranteed, and there's no objective truth, only points of view and models that work for a certain number of situations." That's super true. No trader is always going to be right. And if you are like a 99% win ratio, that probably means your risk reward is really messed up and you have some massive, massive losers because you're just not cutting your losses. My win ratio right now is fairly low this month. It's one of my worst actually at the moment, and I'm right around 60% of the time. But even on my best months, I'm right about like 70% of the time. So that's not that big of a spread. So I'm always going to have to accept that on most trades, or not on most trades, but for every, let's say, 100 trades, 35 of them, let's say, are going to be losers. Now, the next thing I actually wanted to talk about here is one of that big plateau I've been on right here. And as a trader, this is probably one of the toughest times. It's been quite a long plateau. I mean, we're talking since like October last year. Now, I also do swing trading, which has helped this curve do a little bit better. But at the same time, my day trading itself has been very sloppy. And I talked about in my my 2 videos ago where I review indie stock, why that was. There was a lot going on in my personal life, so I was a little bit not fully focused. So that was a little hard. I was also trying different strategies. I was getting a little bit more creative. The market wasn't really that great. So I've kind of hit this plateau, and I understand why I've been there. But there's 3 things I'm specifically doing to get past those. And I've actually, my stats for August I can share here, which again not August, April. Sorry, I think I said August a few times. So in April, I've been a little bit sloppy. My winning ratio here is around 60%, which is not very good. My profit margin is around 15%, so I'm not holding on to a lot of profits. My size is very low. I've actually sized down a little bit. And you can see that my winners are smaller than my losers on dollar wise. On percentage wise, it's like more of a 1-to-1 ratio with a little bit in the positive here on my winners. But it means that I'm having too big size on my losers. You can also see my largest losing trade is much bigger than my largest winning trade, which is not good. So one thing that I'm really working right now on is exponentially sizing on those really good setups. And I've been able to really nail a few, just not with massive size. So if I'm trading, let's say, I'm trying to get my toes wet, get my feet wet, I'll trade with like maybe 1,000 share size. And then the second I see a really good setup, I'm a little bit more in the flow. I want to do a 5x, 10x even that, because if it's a good winner, you really want to size into that. Same philosophy goes with any kind of chance trade, I guess you can say, like poker, where there's an expected value. If you have a really good hand, you want to start raising early, you want to start building those big position sizes. That's how you're able to maintain a positive bankroll. So the second thing I'm actually working on right now this is a weird one here, because this one was a deep belief I've had for the longest time, like a really hardcore stop loss at, let's say, $500 or $1,000, $2,000, depending on how hot the month is. I do adjust it. Now, one thing I am trying to do going forward is removing all of my daily targets, any sort of stops, and just understanding that my stats speak for themselves. I'm a profitable trader, and Danny put a lot of light on this. He's in the podcast as well. He's also a profitable trader over at Warrior Trading, and he also doesn't have a max stop on the day. He realizes that sometimes he can crawl out of the hole pretty well as long as there's a lot of opportunity. So he gives himself that ability to say, hey, there's more opportunity, let me trade that. Obviously, it doesn't mean if I'm going in a hole and I'm trending down, I need to keep trading more and more aggressively. For example, here, I was trending down, but then I kind of put a little bit of space between me and the sell-off. This was like about a whole hour right here. right here, my last trade and my next trade, this was about an hour. I was like, okay, I'm at my max loss, or what used to be my max loss. Typically, I would walk away. And the reason I wanted to share this day is, oh, my face is in the way, is because this is a perfect trade example here, or a running P&L example here, how I can get back. I was waiting for some more opportunity to show up. Eventually there was, and I said, hey, this is a good opportunity. It would be almost foolish not to do it. So I went for it, and I was able to almost get back to not break even, but I was only down 300. Break even right here is at this point. So there was opportunity, and I just have to understand that I have proved myself as a trader, and I need to give myself a little bit more flexibility to navigate the markets. Not specific to a time zone, not specific to what my P&L is doing, but specific to what the market's doing. I need to trade the market and not my P&L. Although I do have to be mindful of that. And that actually leads me to the third thing I'm really working on right here. And that is, boom, a kill criteria. One of the worst things I've been doing, I'll talk about this kill criteria on my watch list where I actively manage my kill criteria. But one of the things I have been really poor at, and I think this is one of the worse than sizing or any other the struggle a trader might have, is knowing when to walk away. So I think it was the first 7 Mondays, I think, of the year, or it was like, I don't know, halfway through January into the end of February, something like that. It was roughly 7 Mondays in a row where I went from up $5 to $1,000, sometimes north of $1,000, to max loss. This happened 7 Mondays in a row, and I thought I was going to throw my laptop out the window. I've never been so frustrated as a trader, and a lot of you guys say I'm probably one of the most relaxed traders. I was very calming when I was live streaming, and I often got that kind of feedback. So to me, to be just super frustrated as a trader, that did it. That was like a little bit of a tilt. I put me on a little bit of a tilt. So what do I need to do to know when to walk away? So I have a little bit of a kill switch here where basically, as long as the expected value of the day is positive, I'll keep trading. But at the second that, let's say, if the market is bearish and I'm green, that's probably a good time to walk away. And the market is bearish if it's a risk-off market. Maybe the VIX is super high. Maybe large caps are moving as opposed to small caps, and maybe I don't want to trade large caps because I'm more focused on small caps. Whatever it may be, maybe there's no tickers moving and I'm green on the day. Hey, maybe that's a good time to walk away, something like that. But if I'm green and there's still a good front side for me to trade, I should keep on trading. There's so many times where I overstay my welcome, especially in the past. I feel like I'm getting a little bit better at it. So one of the things that I've been implementing here is that mindfulness that Alex Breitstein talked about. And basically, pre-market prep, I'll do a little bit of indexes and top gainers. What does the market look like? What are the top gainers? Then I'll do my running P&L. What's my state of mind? So am I trending up? Am I trending down? How do I feel right now? Am I a little bit anxious, or am I sick? Am I ready to go? What's going on? And then I just have my kill switch. Is this a good time to walk away? And just by writing these things down, I do it before pre-market. I do it after when pre-market is wrapping up. I do it at the end of market open and late morning as well. If I want to keep trading, I can decide. Otherwise, I'll just, boom, doon. I'll put little lines and basically call it. And this has made me a lot more mindful of where I currently am. Now, this seems very simple, but it really forces me to reflect. And sometimes I think I'm reflecting my mind, but just writing it down gives you a different sort of relaxation and a bit of a snapshot into your mind. So I think this is really, really important. I actually got these ideas from Annie Duke, who wrote this book, Quit. She's was a professional poker player, and she goes through so many good details on when to walk away. She's researched mountaineers and day traders, taxi drivers, governments, and businesses. So you can just pull out so much from this book, and I highly recommend you guys to check it out. I might do a full breakdown of this book. If you guys are interested, let me know in the comments below. We'll be actually exploring these topics on our new Insider Trading podcast. We're 4 full-time traders that cover the exact things that you, and all traders struggle with, and the solutions that we have implemented for ourselves. We drop all new episodes usually every Friday. I look forward to seeing you guys in the comments over there as well. That's it for this video. I'll see you then next time. Like always, stay safe and make some awesome trades. Ciao, ciao.